What's up, math fans? As long as you're comfortable factoring quadratics using the sum product method, if you're comfortable with doing that and we're checking your work by using FOIL, then this will be really easy. These are called perfect square trinomials. So I want you to think about what a perfect square is. And if you have a composition notebook, you go to the back and you look at the multiplication table, the numbers along the diagonal, those are perfect squares. 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, etc. You should know them. Try to memorize them all the way to 144, even further if you can, 169, etc. So real quick, 5 squared, think about what it means before you even answer the question. It means the base is 5, the exponent is 2, that means you write the base twice. So that's 5 times itself, and the answer is 25. What if I asked you to go backwards and I said rewrite 49 as a perfect square? I would ask myself what times itself is 49, and if you memorize that list, then you know that 49 is really the same as saying 7 squared. All right, that's all you should be comfortable with is the perfect squares. So now, if you see a base squared, what did I just say here? It means write the base, x plus 5, write it twice, okay? And when you see this, then you use your skills of FOIL to get an actual expanded answer, or an expanded expression, okay? So we're gonna do first x times x and then outer x times 5. That's gonna give me x squared plus 5x plus, now we're gonna go inner and then we're gonna go last. So that's another 5x and then 25. So my final answer, if I combine like terms, is x squared plus 10x plus 25. Now if you look at this thing, x squared plus 10x plus 25, this is considered a perfect square trinomial. Why? Because it's a trinomial, for one, it has 3 terms, but it's a perfect square because it can be rewritten or in factored form like this, but it can be rewritten as a base squared, something to the second power. So this is a perfect square trinomial because it came from something times itself. If you get that, you'll be able to do these 3 really easily. Is this a perfect square trinomial? Well, 1, 2, 3, it's definitely a trinomial. Here's a clue. You look at the first term and the last term, they're both perfect squares. This is, let's see here. So I'm gonna use my sum product method to factor this because there's no GCF. So what times what gives me 100 and also adds to 20? That should be obvious, 10 and 10. So that tells you, ooh, 10 and 10, that's a perfect square. So x plus 10, and they're both positive, so another x plus 10. If the factors repeat, instead of writing them twice, write it like this, x plus 10 squared. So this is rewritten as a perfect square. That means it was a perfect square trinomial to start with. All right, you get the idea? I'm sure you can do these 2 on your own, but stick around, I'll do it for you, or with you. Here, yes, I could do the long way. Look for the GCF, there is none. So then I'm gonna do rainbow. And if you saw my video on rainbow, it will absolutely work. But I already, by looking at this, know this is a perfect square, and I know this is a perfect square. So I'm gonna take a shot and hope that I'm right. I'm gonna break it down. 4x squared comes from 2x times 2x. 9 comes from 3 times 3. And they're both positive. So if I do FOIL here, I'll get 4x squared, then I'll get a 6x, but I'll get another 6x, which gives me the 12x in the middle, and then I'll get my 9. So I'm good. So this was a perfect square trinomial, which should be rewritten as 2x plus 3 squared. And let's do it one more time. A minus sign. What? Don't worry about it. Here's why. Perfect squares are always positive because a number times itself, whether it's positive or negative, will always be positive, meaning 49, for example, positive 7 times positive 7 gives me 49. Also, and I didn't mention that here, negative 7 times negative 7 also gives you positive 49. So when you're looking at your third term, it's always going to be positive if it's a perfect square trinomial. The middle term, though, doesn't matter. Here's why. Because x minus 9 times x minus 9 gives you x squared. Negative times negative is positive 81, but negative times negative, negative plus negative, still negative. So this is x minus 9 squared, which is fine. So here's a couple of different variations. Be comfortable with your perfect squares. Thanks for watching. See ya.